Okay, I think I may have fixed the audio issue here. Sorry about that, folks. That was my mistake there, but as it is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line for the Trinity Raiders. Trying to get the move on. They come out in the three-backs formation, fake the handoff. This is Peter Alessandro trying to run out to the edge, but he gets chased down. Sounds like I fixed it. My apologies there, folks. Had some early technical difficulties, but it sounds like I'm back. We've got a timeout called by Trinity, so we'll take a brief pause here at Monadnock Regional High School in Swansea, New Hampshire, where we have a Division III first-round matchup between the hosting 4th-seeded Monadnock Huskies and the visiting 5th-seeded and defending state champion Trinity Raiders. These two teams facing off for the first time since a mid-season regular season matchup last year, which Trinity won 40-20 in their march towards an eventual title. Monadnock went 3-and-out in their first attempt to move down the field after receiving the opening kickoff. A nice punt by Nate Doyle moved Trinity down to their own 21-yard line, but they've been marching since then. A nice run by James Tybalt, and then a sneak across the first down marker by Pete Alessandro, and then a 9-yard pass that turned into another march across the first down marker. Results in where we are now, 2nd and 10. It's where things are, as once again they come out with 3 backs behind the quarterback. Here it's 2nd and 10 at the 45-yard line. Alessandro takes the snap. Goes up the middle. Breaks through one tackler, but just held on. That appears to be number 30, once again, James Tybalt. Nice tackle there by the Monadnock defense to keep him from going much further than the 6 yards he got. They go with trip backs again. A snap and the give. And runs ahead for another few yards. So it's going to be 4th and short after that run, once again by Tybalt. 4th and 1 at the Monadnock 46-yard line. Big play here. Trinity comes out with trips back. And we got a whistle. We got a flag. This could be huge here. And they called on the offense for lining up in the neutral zone. It's a dead ball penalty that moves Trinity back 5 yards. That is a costly penalty for the Raiders as they get moved back to 4th and 6. They move from about the Monadnock 46 to about their own 48. So a very different play here. Trinity still comes out with trips back. And the quarterback goes out in motion to the right, so this is going to be a direct snap. Quarterback coming in motion across the back again. The give, they decide to toss back to the quarterback. This is Alessandro running with it, and he gets tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. A great lead on the tackle by Aiden Hart. And then Justin Jocelyn came in to clean up the mess and stuff him into the dirt, and that turns it over on downs. The Huskies get the ball back.
1st and 10 for the Huskies.
So this time, better field position for the Huskies. They start at the opposing 46-yard line. So 1st and 10, they come out in the wishbone once again. Doyle takes the snap, gives to Jocelyn. Jocelyn speeds into the line, hits a bit of a wall, but manages to push ahead for maybe about 3 yards. Looks like it will be about 3 yards. It's 2nd and 7 at the 43-yard line. Less than 6 minutes left in the first quarter of a so far scoreless playoff game. The Huskies coming out in the flex bone this time. Their two running backs lined up along the side. Aiden Hart comes in motion. The snap is taken, and we've got a whistle. They're calling a false start on the Huskies. That's on number 2. That is Ethan Jarvis. Tough penalty there as the Huskies move 5 yards back and now face 2nd and 12. So again, some costly offensive penalties, preventing the teams from moving forward and getting into the end zone. Huskies come back out of their huddle. And they come out in the flex bone once again. This time Jocelyn in motion. They take the snap. It's a toss out to Jocelyn. Jocelyn cuts in. He finds a bit of a gap, runs ahead for about 4, maybe 5 yards. So it'll be 3rd down now. The Huskies up to the opposing 42-yard line as Jocelyn actually gained 6 on that nice cut-up field and a leap ahead after being tripped up. So 3rd and 6 to go. Huskies come back out in the flex bone. Gotta watch out for the play-action pass on this one. Jocelyn comes in motion. He fakes the throw. He goes to Zion Carroll, and it's almost picked off. The timing wasn't there.
Pass intended for Carroll.
Almost intercepted by number 20, I believe that is, Mayfield-Sheehan. He saw that in route coming the whole way. He jumped it like he was Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl, but it went right through his hands and he wasn't able to get the interception. So instead, the Huskies get away with one there, and they come out 4th and 6 in opposing territory. They come out in the wishbone this time. Doyle takes the snap, fakes the give again. He's rolling out to his right, looking for a pass option, throws it, juggled and dropped. That pass was going to number 2, Ethan Jarvis, and it went off his fingertips and fell for an incomplete pass. And that'll be another turnover on downs, this time by the Huskies. So Trinity takes over in what will be the 4th offensive possession of the game thus far. Neither team has been on the board yet. The Raiders come back out in their usual 3-back formation. Pete Alessandro takes the snap. He gives the run to the right and piles ahead for a gain of about 4 or 5. And that one That one, I believe, might have been number 20, Mayfield-Sheehan, who gained that one. 4 yards on the gain, so it'll be 2nd and 6 for the Raiders. Come back out in their trips back formation. Alessandro with the give. This one's to James Tybalt, but he gets wrapped up around the legs and pushed down for a short gain. Nice grab by Dylan Cashman, the Monadnock lineman, who fought through the scrum and managed to wrap up his legs so he couldn't go much further. Justin Jocelyn, again, coming in to clean up the mess and push him to the ground. So it'll be 3rd and 6 after no gain on that play. Trinity currently situated at their own 45-yard line. Most of this game is taking place around midfield as they come out with trips backs, but Alessandro, the quarterback, goes out to a wide receiver position in motion. And it's a direct snap to number 7. He throws it out, looking for Alessandro. It falls incomplete. Well defended by Zion Carroll, as well as, I believe that is might have been number 12, Nate Doyle, might have been number 42, Joe Latito. I think it was Joe Latito who helped out Zion Carroll on the coverage there. It was an attempted direct throw from Paul Tybalt, who was lined up as a running back. But now, with 4th and 6, their own 45, Trinity has elected to punt. Snap goes back, punt goes high in the air, but it's not traveling very far. Almost bounced off of one of Monadnock's blockers, Zion Carroll, but instead harmlessly rolls and is downed by Trinity. So Monadnock will take over after what is just the second punt of this game thus far. But there have been a couple of turnover on downs. Neither team has managed to move the ball very far early on in this game, as Monadnock will start at their own 36-yard line. Monadnock comes out for 1st and 10. They come out starting in the flex bone. And this time it's Hart in motion. They give to Hart. He rumbles and bumbles ahead for a gain of maybe 3 or 4. And it's a gain of about 4, so the Huskies now have 2nd and 6 after a solid first down run. Huskies come back out in the flex. This time it's Jocelyn in motion, and looks like this time they gave it to the fullback, or did they give it to Jocelyn? I got completely faked out on that one myself. It was Justin Jocelyn, and he sprinted ahead. I think what happened was he made a very nice in-cut on the handoff as opposed to taking the handoff from Doyle's right. He took it from his left and cut up for a very nice gain and a first down. Huskies now moving the ball to their own 49-yard line. They come out in the flex bone once again. It's been working well for them the first 2 plays of this drive. Jocelyn in motion. Snap, give to Jocelyn, runs to the left, hits a pile, and rumbles ahead for a gain of about 3 or 4, depending on where they spot. Looks like they got the ball to about the opposing 48-yard line, so that'll be a gain of 3. And so the Huskies, they come back out in the flex bone once again for 2nd and 7. Jocelyn in motion. They fake the give to Jocelyn. They're going to go deep. They're going to look for Zion Carroll. The throw is up. He's all by himself. He's got it. He's got daylight. He's got the end zone. Touchdown, Huskies! Zion Carroll can be so automatic with those. After that in-cut that was jumped by Malith Yor of the Raiders, this time they decided to go deep. They probably faked him out there, and when Zion Carroll gets a step on his defender, he is uncatchable. So as long as his quarterback hits him with a good throw, that's just automatic. And the proof was in the pudding there as they find the end zone, 6-0. The Huskies now going for 2. They come out in the wishbone. The give to Jocelyn. He piles ahead, churning his legs. Did he make it in? This one's going to be close. And they said he didn't make it. So the Trinity defense stands tall and prevents the 2-point conversion. But the Huskies are the first on the board. A big-time connection, 48 yards on that pass from quarterback Nate Doyle to wide receiver Zion Carroll. An impressive connection those two have been. The first game I covered this season was the home game against the local rival Keene, and those two connected on 3 touchdowns, provide Monadnock with all of their points that day. And so far, once again, they're responsible for all the scores, as the score is 6-0 in favor of the 4th-seeded Huskies over the 5th-seeded Raiders, with 59 seconds left in the first quarter. So after throwing the touchdown pass, Nate Doyle, the team's kicker, as well as quarterback, will be kicking this one off.
Right there, they're like outside the end. The guy that steps up on the far side, he plays like 3 yards from that.
Teams lined up for the kickoff. Doyle marches up and flubs what I think was supposed to be an onside kick. It doesn't travel any yards past The kick marker might have traveled like 1 yard. That's a rough one. Bit of rough execution there by the Huskies kicker, and that puts Trinity in some favorable field position to start their drive. They will start things off at the Monadnock 42-yard line after a flubbed kick by Nate Doyle went about 2 yards and stopped. So Trinity comes back out with trips back, snaps it to Alessandro. He decides to fake the handoff, tries to run with it himself, and he gets ganged up on. He's stopped for maybe no gain, maybe a loss of 1. And the first one there, I think, was Aiden Hart. Wrapped up his legs, and then the cavalry came and grabbed him from all sides and dragged him down. So about a loss of 1 on that one as they get moved back to the Monadnock 43-yard line, 2nd and 11. So Trinity comes out with trips backs, but the quarterback lined up in the wide receiver position. Alessandro going in motion, and they decide to give it to him on the motion. The give from Tybalt, and Alessandro runs to the right and gets stopped after a short gain of maybe 2 or 3. That was Paul Tybalt, who operates as almost a second quarterback there, as there's the horn, and the first quarter has ended. So after 1 quarter of play, the 4th-seeded Monadnock Huskies have a 1-score lead over the 5th-seeded defending state champion Trinity Raiders. 6-0, courtesy of a 48-yard touchdown pass from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. Once again, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, bringing you live coverage of this New Hampshire Division III first-round playoff game, as these two teams are fighting to see who will take on 8th-seeded Campbell in the next round, as the tournament's top seed, Pelham, was forced to forfeit their spot in the tournament due to COVID. It's been a weird season to end all weird seasons, folks. But, give credit to these players. They keep chugging along, doing the best they can. As we get ready to switch sides and enter the second quarter here. Once again, the score, Monadnock 6, Trinity 0. Trinity comes back onto the field facing a 3rd and 11 after Alessandro ran for no gain on the previous play. I thought maybe he got a couple yards, but he couldn't find the edge on that one. So it'll be 3rd and 11 for the Trinity offense. They come out and trips back. Alessandro takes the snap, gives to James Tybalt. He runs ahead, found some room, but not enough to convert as he was chased down by, I believe, Nate Doyle in the second level. A nice second-level tackle there by the quarterback slash linebacker slash kicker. So it'll be 4th down after a gain of about 5 yards. It'll be 4th and 6 to go at the Monadnock 39-yard line. Trinity will be going for it. They've got 3 backs, but the quarterback, Alessandro, lining out wide as a receiver. The snap to Paul Tybalt. He drops back. He's looking for a throw. He's going for Alessandro. It's up in the air, and he caught it! He won the battle for the ball, and he's got the first down. He gets dragged out of bounds by Nate Doyle, but he won the jump ball against Zion Carroll. Impressive catch there by Alessandro. And he gets his team a 15-yard gain, more than enough for the first, and they are down to the Monadnock 24-yard line. These two run-heavy teams have had to go to the pass to try and find their big plays early in this game. As Trinity comes back out 1st and 10 from the opposing 24, they got trips backs once again. Alessandro under center. He takes a snap, gives to James Tybalt. Tybalt rumbles and bumbles ahead for about a gain of 3, maybe 4. James Tybalt showing an ability to carry a couple of defenders with him if he gets to that second level. He can be hard to take down, but a couple of his runs so far, the Huskies have been able to gang tackle him either at the line or behind the line, and this time his run goes for about 3 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 7 at the Monadnock 21-yard line. Trinity comes back out and trips backs. The snap to Alessandro, give to James Tybalt once again, and he gets swallowed up after no gain, maybe 1 yard. They're going to say no gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
No gain on the play. 37.
So the Huskies defense trying to stand tall once again. They put themselves in a good spot in the last set of downs, forcing a 4th and 6, but a big pass from Paul Tybalt to Peter Alessandro as they come out once again with Peter Alessandro lined up out wide. The snap is juggled by Tybalt, and he has to retreat to get it. He gets dragged down. Oh, but there's a flag. That might be a face mask. Oh, that's going to be tough. The tackle was made by senior co-captain Victor Latito, but the penalty was called on Trinity.
Victor Latito went on the sack.
Oh, so the sack by Vic Latito is going to count. There was no penalty against him. Clean hit. It was a holding call against Trinity. Obviously declined after a big sack like that. And a huge mistake by the Raiders sets them back at the worst possible time. Paul Tybalt was taking the direct snap out of the backfield. He juggled it as it went a little high, and he had to go back and chase it. And ultimately a 12-yard sack for Victor Latito as they are now lining up to punt. The punt is away. It's high, not very far, which is what you want in a situation this far down in opposing territory. And they're going to down it inside the 10. So the Huskies are going to start with a long ways to go. Of course, they scored on a big pass play last time. Zion Carroll had the 48-yard touchdown grab from quarterback Nate Doyle to score 6-0. We've got 9:42 left in the half. The Huskies coming out to start their drive. They come out in the wishbone this time to start the drive. Doyle takes the snap, the give to Jocelyn. He gets stuffed at the line and goes nowhere. Might have lost a yard on that one.
They're
actually going to say, I think, that he gained a yard. So an impressive push considering he didn't have a lot of room to go. He got 2 yards, actually. So it'll be 2nd and 8 from the Husky 12-yard line. They come out in the wishbone once again. Snap to Doyle. Fake the give. Oh, they fake the give twice. They throw out deep for Carroll. He's got it wide open. They faked out everybody. They even faked out me. And now Carroll's racing down the sideline. He's got nobody but a beat. He just has to win the foot race, and he wins it. Touchdown, Huskies! Unbelievable, this man. That is an 88-yard touchdown pass from who else but Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. They faked me out on that play. They got me. I'll wear the dunce hat on that one. 2 fake handoffs, and Doyle was dropping back to pass. Zion Carroll ran a great route to the corner. He was wide open. Doyle hit his man, and then Carroll won a long foot race down the far sideline. Huskies now lead 12-0, and I think they're going to be going for 2 once again. Huskies are going for 2. They come out in the flex bone, man in motion, and they go for a pitch play. They pitch it out to Jocelyn, but he doesn't get in. Stopped short once again, so the 2-point conversion is no good. But the Monadnock Huskies, showing why they are the slightly higher seed in this matchup, with the early momentum now, 2 big passing plays have given them a 12-0 lead. It's amazing. Like I said, this is a very run-oriented offense. They only occasionally go to the pass play, but when it opens up big. Zion Carroll is an incredible deep threat, and he and Nate Doyle have one heck of a connection from quarterback to receiver. 12-0 the score in favor of the 4th-seeded Monadnock Huskies over the 5th-seeded defending D3 champion Trinity Raiders. And now Nate Doyle lining up for the kickoff. He'll be hoping to do a little better this time than he did last time. Flubbed the kick. I'm not sure if he was going for an onside kick or what, but the kick only traveled 2 yards the last time he kicked off, so he'll be hoping for something better this time with 8:54 left in the half and now a 2-score lead. Doyle lining up, getting ready for the kick. Trinity's got one man back deep. Doyle lines up for it. He goes for another onside kick. It skips away from one player, but it's dove on by one of the Raiders, and they down it successfully. A nice attempt on the kick there by Nate Doyle, but it's recovered by number 20, Malith Yor. Malith Yor, the senior defensive back and running back for the Raiders, who almost had an interception on an earlier Huskies possession. He comes up with the recovery, and the Raiders will start at their own 42. They come out in trips backs, but send the quarterback Paul Tybalt out wide. This is going to be a direct snap to the backfield. Tybalt coming back in motion, closer to the line. This direct snap to Alessandro. He gives to James Tybalt. Tybalt's got some room to run. He found a hole and broke off of one tackle and ran into a wall. That's going to be a gain of about 6 or 7. Nice play there by the Raiders. So a group tackle there. I think the PA announcer said Dylan Cashman and Nate Doyle on the tackle there. Gain of 6 by James Tybalt. It'll be 2nd and 4 at the Raiders' 48-yard line. They send quarterback Paul Tybalt out wide once again. Peter Alessandro will be taking the direct snap with the running back on either side. Paul Tybalt comes back in motion. The snap to Alessandro, the give, and he gets wrapped up behind the line. That was James Tybalt on the carry, and he went nowhere. Justin Jocelyn, the speedy outside linebacker, he got all the way through and came in like an absolute bullet and wrapped up James Tybalt. There was no way for him to build up any momentum with his legs there. That goes for a big loss, and it's now going to be 3rd down and 8 yards to go after a big 4-yard loss on the tackle by Justin Jocelyn. They send Paul Tybalt out wide once again. A back on either side of Alessandro. Tybalt coming in motion, but instead they're going to drop back to pass. Alessandro floats one up, and it's over his guy's head. That pass was intended for Trinity's number 82, Finian Smith, the senior tight end, but it was too far away. The pass rush was coming. Alessandro had to throw up a prayer. His guy was well covered, and he overthrew his man anyway. So 4th down and 8 at their own 44. They're going to punt this one away. Justin Jocelyn back deep for the Huskies. The punt goes into the air. It's well punted by Paul Tybalt. Caught by Jocelyn. He runs to his right, breaks away from one tackle. He's running down the sideline, breaks away from another couple of tackles, but ultimately gets dragged down after a pretty nice return. He'll start his team off at about their own 39-yard line. 7:09 left in the second quarter. Monadnock leads Trinity 12-0. Huskies trying to add to what is already a 2-score lead early in this one. They start out of the flex bone this time. It'll be Aiden Hart in motion, and he gets the toss to the right and goes absolutely nowhere.
Aiden Hart on the carry.
Stuffed behind the line by Trinity. And so that'll go for a loss of about 1, maybe 2 yards. We'll say a loss of 1. Well tackled by the Trinity defender. So it'll be 2nd and 11 from the Huskies' 38-yard line. About 6:30 left in the half. Huskies come back out there in the wishbone this time. Trinity stacks the line. The snap to Doyle. He gives to Jocelyn. Jocelyn finds a bit of a hole and rumbles ahead for a gain of about 3 or 4. That was actually, I think, 2nd and 12. I think the scoreboard corrected that first play to a 2-yard loss. He gains 3, so it'll be 3rd and 9. We just passed the 6-minute mark in the second quarter. Huskies trying to make things happen. 3rd and 9. They come out in the wishbone. Snap to Doyle. He gives to Aiden Hart. Aiden Hart piles up the middle. He's dragging a couple guys with him. He's pushing it. And he pushes it ahead for a nice gain, but going to be short of the first. There's going to be a judgment call here on whether or not to go for it. Aiden Hart got them about 5 yards, I think, on that one. So it'll be 4th down and 4 yards to go at the 40-yard line. Got a whistle for some reason. Team's trying to sub players in. And it looks like Monadnock is coming out in punt formation. And the Raiders are not sending anyone back deep. Okay, now they're sending someone back deep. The Raiders seemed a little confused on that play. Huskies lining up to punt. Long snap back to Nate Doyle. And he does boot this one away. It's a line drive, gets a bounce right out of bounds. So the Huskies opt to punt on what was about a 4th and 4 situation on their own 40. They decide to play it safe with a 2-score lead. And the punt takes Trinity back to its own 34-yard line to start this drive. So Trinity comes out with trips backs and a man under center. That is Peter Alessandro under center. Takes the snap. Give to James Tybalt. He runs ahead, bounces off one tackle, and rumbles ahead for a gain of about 5 yards. Forgive me, that was a gain of 4, actually. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 from about the 37 or 38-yard line. Trips backs, Alessandro under center. The snap to Alessandro. He fakes the give. He's looking for someone to throw to. There's nobody there. He just throws it up and it's intercepted. He threw it to nobody but a Monadnock defender. He's running it back. It's Nate Doyle. He's going for the end zone. And he stops just short of the 1-yard line. Nate Doyle doing it all today. He's already got 2 touchdown passes as the starting quarterback. And now as one of the starting linebackers, he gets a big interception. I'm not really sure what Trinity was trying to do there. They looked absolutely lost. It was a play-action play, but no receiver was going out. I think they may have had one running a short crossing route that just wasn't coming through in time. The pass rush was closing fast, and Alessandro panicked and floated the ball up right into the hands of Nate Doyle. That's got to be one of the easiest interceptions I've ever seen anyone make, but credit to Doyle. He got it, and he ran it back all the way down to the opposing 1-yard line. So it'd be 1st and goal at the 1 for the Huskies. And they come out in the wishbone. Doyle takes the snap, the give to Jocelyn, and he gets stuffed. It looks like he's going to be stopped for about no gain on that play. Well defended by the Raiders as they force the Huskies to take more than one play to get in the end zone here. At least 2 plays. It is 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Huskies come out in the wishbone once again. Doyle under center. He takes a snap. He tries to go himself. He tries to pile ahead. Did he make it? He made it! Touchdown! Monadnock! Nate Doyle takes it himself. Basically finishes his own return off the interception. Gets that last yard he needed as he piles it across for what's basically his 3rd overall score of the day. 2 thrown through the air and 1 run across on a QB sneak. The score now, Monadnock 18, Trinity 0. So now we'll see if Monadnock tries to go for 2 once again. My guess is that they will. And they're coming out in a weird-looking formation. They got 7 guys out on the left side. They got 1 guy out wide on the right. Nate Doyle takes the direct snap. He throws it over to his right, and it's nearly picked off. The throw just wasn't in time. They had a man wide open. Doyle was ready to make that throw, but the cut was just a little too slow, and it was nearly picked off. The 2-point conversion, once again, is no good, as Doyle's attempted pass for Zion Carroll is well defended by Trinity. So the score with 3 minutes and 48 seconds left in the second quarter of this NHIAA Division III State Tournament first round matchup currently stands at 18 points for the 4th-seeded home team Monadnock Huskies and a goose egg for the visiting 5th seed and last year's champions, the Trinity Raiders. Monadnock off to a good start. A 48-yard touchdown pass from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. An 88-yard touchdown pass from Doyle to Carroll. And then a big interception return by Doyle brought his team down to the 1 where he brought it in himself for a 1-yard score. And now Doyle taking on more duties as he gets ready for his 3rd kickoff in about 3 possessions. Doyle running up, goes for the kick. It's another bouncer, and it's scooped up at the first level and fallen on by, I believe that is number 21, Devone Ellis of Trinity. He downs it close to midfield. So Trinity will start at their own 47-yard line. 3 minutes and 47 seconds left in the half. And they are trailing by 3 scores. And they're coming out in a different formation this time. Shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Pete Alessandro getting ready to take the snap with 1 back behind him. He takes the snap, throws out almost a screen pass. I don't know if it got batted, but the pass falls. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. It was almost a backwards pass. That was close to being more catastrophe for the Raiders. I'm not sure if that was just really well defended. Victor Latito was I believe the first guy there on the pass rush. But past few plays, Trinity has just looked lost. They come out in shotgun once again. 2 receivers on either side. 1 back behind Peter Alessandro. Takes the snap. This time he gives to James Tybalt, who runs right up the middle and squirts ahead for about 3 or 4 yards. So the 3rd down, and I believe 7 to go at midfield. 3:25 and counting left in the half. Trinity trailing Monadnock 18-0, trying to get something going. They're trying something different. Changing from their usual trips backs formation to a shotgun with 2 receivers on either side of quarterback Peter Alessandro. 1 back behind him. He takes the snap, drops back to throw. Pass rush is coming, throws it up. It's deflected, but then caught! A great catch by Trinity. I believe that is not entirely sure. I couldn't quite read the jersey number, but either way, a huge catch, and they move it to the Monadnock 34. They come out, same formation, drop back, pass, almost picked off, and well deflected. That was Monadnock's number 5, Carson Shanks, who got the tackle on the reception and then almost undercut that route there for an interception, instead just forces an incomplete. 2:53 on the clock in the second quarter as a fog has come in now here at Monadnock Regional High School. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. They come out in shotgun once again. And Alessandro takes the snap. He's going to run to his right. He had Tybalt throw out a block. He's trying to gain the edge. He's got the edge. He's got some room to run, and he steps out of bounds after gaining the first down. They changed up the formation ever so slightly, came out in the same shotgun with 2 receivers on either side. But this time, instead of having James Tybalt behind Alessandro, he was on his left, so he was able to throw out a leading block. and give Alessandro the room he needed to get the edge and get a huge gain. That's a gain of about 14 yards as they get down to the Monadnock 20-yard line for a fresh set of downs. 2:43 on the clock. They come out in shotgun. James Tybalt to the right of Peter Alessandro. We got a man in motion. Alessandro takes a snap. The give to the motion man. He's running to his right, trying to gain the edge. Can't find much room to run, and he gets dragged down.
Nate Doyle with the tackle.
That was Nate Doyle on the tackle. That man is doing everything, and that was number 21, Devone Ellis, on the carry there. As he lost quite a number. I'm not sure if they're just not giving him forward progress or if he really was taken down that far behind, but they're marking that as a 4-yard loss for the Raiders. It's a loss they cannot afford as they are pushed back to the Monadnock 24-yard line. They come out in shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. James Tybalt behind Peter Alessandro this time. The snap, drops back, pass rush coming, throws to basically nobody. It was in between a couple of receivers, but it bounced a good couple yards in front of them. Credit to the Huskies pass rush. They are forcing the Raiders to make some very quick throws here, if they're going to make throws at all. And again, the timing of the weather is not in Trinity's favor, as they now have to try and pass this through a light fog that is coming down on the field late in the first half. 1:56 on the clock. It is 3rd down, 14 yards to go, and 24 yards to go to the end zone. Shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Tybalt to the left of Alessandro. Man in motion. They fake to give to the motion man. Alessandro being chased. He escapes. He throws. He's got a man wide open. It's caught, and it's in the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders.
Alessandro secured the kill for Pioneer touchdown.
And they connect on the touchdown. That is 24-yard pass. Tough to see the jersey numbers in the fog, but a nice pass by Peter Alessandro after a nice escape from the first guy who got there. And they'll be going for the PAT to score Monadnock 18, Trinity 6. As Trinity now on the board with 1:48 left to go in the half. And they're lining up for the PAT kick. Snap, ball is down, kick is up, and it's wide left, no good. So Trinity gets on the board with the 24-yard touchdown pass. They needed to go through the air to start finding some success as well. They switched their formation, and credit where it's due, they got things done. A couple of big catches down the field got them into the end zone. Monadnock still holding the lead. The lead now down to 18-6.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And so that was a 24-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Peter Alessandro to senior tight end George Acule. And now Monadnock Trinity getting ready to kick off to Monadnock. Monadnock has Justin Jocelyn and Aiden Hart back deep. As here's the kick. It's high and short. And it's flubbed for a second by Jocelyn. He scoops it back up, and he's got a hole through the middle. Oh, my gosh. And he gets dragged down by the kicker, number 21, Devone Ellis.
Return for the Huskies.
That almost turned disaster into opportunity there. Justin Jocelyn flubbed the catch for a second. Players were starting to swarm around him. He picked it back up, ran right through a hole up the middle, but then was ultimately dragged down by the kicker. If the kicker didn't have him, he was almost gone there. So instead, the Huskies will start at their own 43-yard line. They come out in the flex bone to start. 1:43 to go. Trinity's got to watch out for the pass to Carroll. Aiden Hart in motion, and they give it to Hart, and he runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. He's not going anywhere. I think that's no gain on the play, maybe 1 yard. And the Huskies called timeout with 1:32 left in the second quarter. It looks like they gave Aiden Hart a gain of about 1 on that play as they move up to their own 44. And now they huddle up around head coach Ryan Avery as he gets his team ready for what might be the final drive of this half. The score currently, Monadnock 18, Trinity 6, as the 4th-seeded Huskies lead the 5th-seeded defending champion Raiders, courtesy of some big plays from their quarterback, linebacker, kicker hybrid. The man who plays basically 4 positions, Nate Doyle. He plays quarterback, linebacker, kicker, and punter. And he's made some big plays in just about all of those areas. As a quarterback, he has thrown for 2 big touchdowns to his main receiver, Zion Carroll, and he's also run for a touchdown. His running touchdown, of course, set up by an interception return that he made. So he's making plays on offense, on defense. He's had a couple of decent punts, so he's making plays on special teams. He's been everywhere today. And now he's trying to help lead his team down the field. 2nd and 9 at their own 44. 1:32 left. Huskies come out in the flex bone once again. Aiden Hart in motion again. They fake the toss. They give to Jocelyn, and Jocelyn gets hit behind the line, but he gets back on his feet and starts to run, but he gets taken down by Trinity. A bit of pushing and shoving after the play is over. Both teams trying to get their players out of there. Don't get in any trouble. But ultimately, a gain of maybe 1, maybe nothing. But credit to Jocelyn. He didn't give up on that play. He was almost all the way down, but prevented his knee from getting down and kept churning. And he got a gain of a very hard-earned 1 yard. So it'll be 3rd and 8 at the 45. 55 seconds and counting. Monadnock comes out in the flex bone. Aiden Hart in motion once again. They fake it, and they're going back to pass. Doyle's looking for his man, Carroll. He throws it up. He's got barely any separation. Did he come down with the catch? They say he caught it. Great floating pass from Nate Doyle out to Zion Carroll. I couldn't tell if he caught it because he threw it straight into the fog. Absolutely fearless on those deep passes out to Zion Carroll. That's a big first down. The Huskies take their 2nd time out of the half. With 39 seconds, they have moved the ball down to the Trinity 26-yard line. Another big pass connection from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. Amazing. You wouldn't believe that their first pass attempt almost ended in disaster, as it was almost picked off by Trinity's Malith Yor, who had jumped the slant route cutting in. Timing wasn't there on that one. Since then, they've connected on 3 really big passes and only missed on 1 attempted 2-point conversion. The short routes have been disastrous for Monadnock on the passing game, but the long routes have been very fruitful. 3 for 3 on those long passing routes from Doyle to Zion Carroll, including 2 for touchdowns. 1 for 48 yards, 1 for 88 yards, and then 1 for a hefty gain on that play there and a huge first down conversion. They were at their own 45-yard line. They're now at the opponent's 26. So a gain of 29 yards on that pass. They come back out in the flex bone. 39 seconds left at the Trinity 26. 1st and 10. Jocelyn in motion. And they give to the fullback. He's running straight ahead. He's got room. And he runs straight ahead through a huge hole for a big gain and another first down. Hayden Haddock, the fullback, gets his first carry.
On the field.
Although, so a big carry by the fullback. Hayden Haddock on that play. He gets another first down and a gain of 14 yards. That's the tricky thing about this Monadnock offense. They can attack you so many different ways. They'll attack you about 80-90% of the time with their 2 running backs, Justin Jocelyn and Aiden Hart. But every once in a while, they throw a long ball for Zion Carroll, or they give it to Haddock and just say, hey, run up the middle, because they're expecting us to go to the outside. And again, the results speak for themselves. They've got some big plays from some unlikely sources. So the timeout was called once again by Monadnock. That was their last timeout. 33 seconds, and they are 12 yards from pay dirt. And they're coming back out. And I think the fullback is, I don't think it's actually Hayden Haddock. I think it's actually Ethan Jarvis. They come out in the wishbone this time. Doyle takes the snap, fakes the give again. He's rolling out to his right, looking for a throw. He doesn't have a throwing lane, so he runs it out of bounds for a short gain, maybe a couple yards there.
The flag on the play.
And we got a flag on the play this time. See what the flag was on this play as Nate Doyle carried it himself. He attempted play action. There was no passing lane. They're going to call that against Trinity. I think they're going to say it was a late hit and that Doyle was already out of bounds when a second tackler came in. Trinity coach not happy about that call, but that will bring them half the distance to the goal. Oh, they're saying it was, I think they're saying it was helmet to helmet. Whatever the penalty is they're calling, that's a tough break for Trinity. Their defense had finally come up with a big play, closing off the passing lanes, but instead they move Monadnock down to the 1 yard line. They come out in the flex bone, Jocelyn in motion. They give, they fake the give. Doyle's rolling out, he's throwing. Does he have his man? No, he dropped it. That pass was intended, I believe, for Aiden Hart, and it slipped through his fingers. That almost might have been a lucky break that he dropped it, as it seemed like he was going to be short of the goal. With the incomplete pass, at least they stopped the clock with 19 seconds left in the half. It'll be second and goal at the opposing 1 yard line. Once again, 1 yard to go. Huskies lining up in the flex bone. Jocelyn in motion. The snap, the give to Jocelyn. He fumbled it. He fumbled the handoff. Who fell on it?
A fumble on the field.
Was Jocelyn able to get back on it? No, he wasn't. They're going to say Trinity got the ball. Huge offensive mistake by the Huskies. A clutch end of the half drive vanishes in a puff of smoke as a flubbed handoff from Nate Doyle to Justin Jocelyn results in a turnover right on the doorstep of the end zone. Instead, with 10 seconds left in the half, Trinity takes over at their own 4 yard line. They're probably just going to sit on this one. They come out with trips backs. Pete Alessandro is just going to take it and run ahead for whatever he can get. And I think that's going to end the half. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's the horn. And that's going to end your first half. The score after 2 quarters of play, the 4th seeded hosting Monadnock Huskies 18, the visiting 5th seed and defending champion Trinity Raiders 6. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Monadnock Regional High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. And I will be back after a bit of a mute break with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back here at Swansea Regional High School, at Monadnock Regional High School in Swansea, New Hampshire. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live with this Division III football playoff game here between the hosting 4th seeded Monadnock Huskies and the visiting 5th seed and defending champion Trinity Raiders. We had some early technical difficulties at the start of this game, but since things have managed to settle down, shout out to one of my loyal listeners, WKFLD, for letting me know when things sound good and when they don't. You're the real MVP of this broadcast, my man. We're a couple minutes out from starting the second half of this ball game, and the fog is getting a little thicker This is turning into a bit of a fog bowl here. Hopefully that dissipates over some time, so I'll be able to tell who is who out there and what is happening. Don't want to turn this into Eagles Bears in the playoffs where you couldn't see anything and couldn't see what anyone was doing. But definitely don't want to not be able to see the action because there's been some great action so far. To quickly recap, after the two teams traded punts and turnovers on downs, the Huskies put together scoring drives on 3 straight possessions. The first one, a 48-yard touchdown pass from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. And then the next one, an 88-yard pass from Doyle to Carroll for their second score. And then the last one was sparked by a defensive play, an interception by Doyle, which he returned all the way down to the 1-yard line and then punched it in himself on a QB sneak. That was the 3rd touchdown for the Huskies so far. They failed all 3 2-point attempts, and so they stood at 18-0. The Trinity Raiders finally were able to string things together late in the half and got their first and thus far only score on a 24-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Peter Alessandro to tight end George Akule. The Huskies took the ball back and marched down the field. They were down to the opposing 1-yard line when a flubbed handoff from Doyle to Justin Jocelyn lost them the ball and lost them their chance at a 4th touchdown. So 18-6 to score. Monadnock will be kicking off to start this half as they received the opening game kickoff. So Trinity was able to go down and score late, and they'll certainly be hoping to do the same to start the second half. If they could, that would be a huge blow to Monadnock's momentum. So the Monadnock defense will be aiming to stand tall here and get them the ball back so their offense can get back to work. Nate Doyle, who could easily be called the game's MVP thus far, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, 1 interception, a few punts. He's getting ready to kick this one off as he's been everywhere today. He'll be going for the kickoff. Trinity with only 1 deep. They know that Monadnock doesn't kick deep a lot of the time. Doyle runs up, kicks this one. It's bouncing, and Trinity falls on it, and we're ready to start this second half. I believe that was, I think that might have been number 21, Devone Ellis, who downed that kickoff. And so Trinity will be starting at their own 41-yard line. They get ready to come out for 1st and 10 at the 41. Pete Alessandro under center with 3 backs behind him. Takes the snap, gives to James Tybalt. He's had a few runs. He runs into a wall and can't get that far. And so that got him about 2 yards as he ran inside and ran into a wall. James Tybalt has been a bit of a threat at the second level. He's able to drag some tacklers with him when he gets space, but no space that time, just 2 yards. Same formation, play action pass this time, and I think Alessandro got hit as he threw. So that pass went nowhere. Big play by the Huskies defense. Number 67, Dylan Cashman, was in on the penetration, as well as I think number 21, Justin Jocelyn. Jocelyn, despite the costly fumble at the end of the first half, has made some pretty good plays on the defensive side of the ball so far today. He's a very effective linebacker. He's got such a big burst towards the ball, and he's able to wrap things up very well. 3rd and 8. Trinity coming out in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side, but Alessandro is taking it, and he's running with it himself, and he goes absolutely nowhere. Wrapped up by several Huskies there. The first one to the ball, I believe, was number 28, Aiden Hart. So no gain on that play. It'll be 4th down and 8. They tried to run the ball to the left out of shotgun. That worked out once for them during the first half, but nothing doing there. And so actually a loss of 1 on that play. So great third down stop by the Huskies. And most likely in a situation like this, you expect them to come out to punt, but they're not going to. Trailing 2 scores, they're going aggressive, and they're going to go for it. Shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. James Tybalt standing to the right of Peter Alessandro, and oh, they got a delay of game. They couldn't get it together in time. Delay of game puts them 5 yards back. You wonder if maybe this was a ploy to maybe put things further back, but at this level, I can't see that helping a punter at the high school level. So my guess is it was just too much confusion by the Trinity offense. There were certainly a couple of plays in the first half where they looked absolutely lost. But either way, they're coming out and they're going to go for it. They're still going to go for it. 4th and 14 at their own 37. Alessandro in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side. Takes the snap. He rolls to his right. Looks for a deep throw. He's throwing it up, and the guy's not there. It bounces in front of him, and it was well covered. And he was throwing right into the fog as it was. Didn't have enough mustard on that pass, and that's going to fall incomplete. So turnover on downs to start the second half. And Monadnock will take over with some pretty good field position at the opposing 37-yard line. Perhaps they can atone for the mistake at the end of the first half. (10:14) on the clock here in the third quarter. Again, Monadnock leads Trinity 18-6, and now they have the ball at the Trinity 37. They come out in the wishbone. Nate Doyle under center. He takes the snap, and the give is fumbled again. I don't believe it. But I think this time Monadnock was able to fall on the ball. That was almost identical to their fumble at the 1-yard line at the end of the first half. Each of their past 2 offensive plays have ended with them flubbing the handoff and losing the football. Well, they've certainly got to do something other than that if they want to win this game. So we'll see what they're able to do now. They come out in the flex bone this time. 2nd and 12. Jocelyn going in motion. The snap, give to Jocelyn. He's got a hole. He breaks through, and he gets a nice burst up ahead for about, I think, 7 or 8 yards. Maybe even more. Credit to the Huskies. They go on a handoff to Jocelyn twice in a row. They fumble twice in a row. And then they just change up the formation, and they go right back to him, and they get a huge gain out of it. I think they got 9 yards on that play. They went from 2nd and 12 to now 3rd and 3 at what appears to be the opposing, I think, 31 or 30-yard line. They come out in the flex bone once again. Aiden Hart in motion this time. The give is to Hart. He runs into a wall, trying to drag the pile. Can he get to the first down marker? I think they pushed the pile far enough. I think that's going to be a first down for the Huskies. So Aiden Hart with a nice gritty run. Got him about 4 yards there as he gets to the opposing 26. That was a hard-earned 4 yards, earned by the entire cavalry there as they came in to push the pile towards the end of that play. So the Huskies, 1st and 10 at the 26. They come out in the flex bone once again. Jocelyn in motion this time. Doyle takes a snap. He fakes the give. He's running. He fakes the pitch, and he keeps going. He's still going, and he gets tripped up, and he gets stopped, but I think that's going to go for another first down for Monadnock. So some trickery there. For a second, I thought they were going to hand it off to the fullback. Instead, they run out on an option play, and the threat of the pitch to Jocelyn was big enough that there was a huge opening for Nate Doyle to run through. He gets a gain of 11 and pushes it down to the opposing 15-yard line for a fresh set of downs. So a great first drive for this second half thus far for the Huskies. as they try and add to what is already a 2-score lead. They come out in the flex bone once again. Aiden Hart in motion. Snap, give to Hart. He runs right into the pile and is trying to push his way for a couple extra yards. He gets smushed down to the ground after a gain of maybe 2.
Gain of 1.
Actually, it was only a gain of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 9 at the opposing 14-yard line. And the team comes back out in the flex bone. Hart is in motion this time, but they give to the fullback. He rumbles and bumbles up ahead. And the fullback, Hayden Haddock, who I had a little trouble recognizing the first half. He's wearing a slightly different jersey number from his usual number 9. I think he's wearing number 57 this day. But he gets a nice, I think, 8-yard gain there as it'll be 3rd and 1. Huskies come back out in the flex. 3rd and 1 at about the 6-yard line. Jocelyn in motion. Snap, give to Jocelyn. He piles ahead, and I think he's got the first down.
Jocelyn up the middle.
He ran into the pile, but I think he got the first down. No, they're going to say he was short. They said he got stopped for no gain. Oh, this is going to be big. 4th down and 1 at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Huskies come out in the flex bone again. Huge play here. Aiden Hart in motion, and Doyle keeps it himself, and he's trying to push the pile. Where are they going to spot it? This is going to be close. Trinity stood tall on defense there. It's going to be hard to see. Where are they going to spot it? Do they give him the first? Oh, it's going to be an official timeout for a measurement. They're bringing out the chains. 5:31 is what reads on the clock here in the 3rd quarter of play. Monadnock 18, Trinity 6. And we'll see if Nate Doyle scored on the keeper here, where chains coming out to measure. And he's short. That's going to be a turnover on downs. What a defensive stand by the Trinity Raiders. They had 1 yard to go on 3rd down, and Trinity stopped them 2 times in a row. Incredible. So Monadnock has now been stopped in the opposing red zone on 2 consecutive possessions, once at the 1 yard line after a flubbed handoff, and now after a great defensive stand. Now Trinity takes over. They got trips backs. Alessandro hands off to James Tybalt. He tries to pile ahead, but he doesn't get very far. Might have had a gain of 1 on the play, as they were starting on their own 6 yard line. Or I think, no, they started on their own 5. And now they're at their own 6. 2nd and 9. Come out with 3 backs. Alessandro under center. Alessandro decides to keep it and try and barrel ahead for a short gain. I mean, when you're pinned back this deep at this point, you just want to at least have some room to work. And I think he got a gain of about 3. So Alessandro's run of 3 gets them to 3rd and 6 at their own 9 yard line. They come out, 3 backs, Alessandro under center, takes the snap, fakes the give, it's a play action, he throws it, he's got a man wide open and he's got daylight. This guy's running with it, he's being tackled from behind, oh, he fumbled the football, but they're gonna say he was down. They're saying he was down. Oh, that was a pass out to Mayfield-Sheehan on the play action. He had a step on his man. He was running it down. Zion Carroll chased him down from behind and stripped the ball from him, but they said his knee was already down, so that's a big first down pass and a huge gain for the Raiders as they get down to their own 49-yard line. This time they give to James Tybalt, and he gets stuffed at the line for no gain. What a huge pass play. Play action pass from Pete Alessandro to Mayfield-Sheehan for a huge gain of about 40 yards, actually, as they get down to their own 49-yard line. On first down, they came out in trips backs and handed off to James Tybalt, and it went nowhere. So 2nd and 10 at the 49. They come out with trips backs again. Alessandro under center. Snap. Fakes. He's running with it to the outside. He's got a hole. He runs right into Nate Doyle and gets wrapped up and stopped short of the first. So these fake handoffs are starting to work wonders for the Raiders as they get a handy gain from that one. It'll now be 3rd down, and I think about 3 after a 7-yard run by the quarterback, Peter Alessandro. 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Trinity still trailing Monadnock 18-6. They come out, trips backs once again. Alessandro under center. The snap. They hand off to the right. That's Mayfield-Sheehan. He cuts up field, and he's got the first down. He gets stopped at the 2nd level. Nice stop there by Nate Doyle, as he was going to have daylight if he got past him. But Mayfield-Sheehan with another big play on this drive. They didn't go to him too often in the first half, and they've gone to him for a couple of big plays here as they convert the first and move into Husky territory down to the 38-yard line on Monadnock's side. They come out, trips backs. Alessandro fakes the handoff, runs to his right. He gets wrapped up from behind and gets grabbed, and he's trying to throw it away. And they're saying he got it away and that it fell to the ground, incomplete. Heads up play by the Husky defense. They wrapped him up and were trying to push him to the ground. Even more heads up from Alessandro as he was able to get the ball away for no loss on the play. That could have been a very big sack for the Monadnock defense, and was actually almost another interception for Nate Doyle as he tried to dive in at the end and grab the desperation throw by Alessandro. So a number of heads-up moves, but the ultimate beneficiary is Trinity as they don't lose any yards and they stay 2nd and 10. They come out, trips backs, play action again, throw it up. Guy's not there, but I think they're going to call pass interference. Zion Carroll was on the coverage there. And they're going to call it on the defense. Indeed. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Trinity trying to mount a comeback here. They were down 18 points at one point. And they are calling pass interference on Monadnock. And I think it was Zion Carroll who was in coverage there and pushed his guy from behind. And so that will be a big gain for Trinity as they now move all the way down to, I think, about the opposing 23-yard line. Trips backs, but quarterback Paul Tybalt went out to the wide, and now he's coming back closer. The snap to Alessandro. He fakes the give, runs to his left, tries to break out and find the edge, and he can't do it. He is wrapped up at the edge and stopped for no gain, maybe a loss. First one to the ball was Nate Doyle. Nate Doyle's made a lot of big plays at the 2nd level, and this time he rushed through it and came up with a big grab that stopped Pete Alessandro for a loss of 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 13 from the Monadnock 26-yard line. They come out with trips backs, and they send Paul Tybalt out wide. Tybalt's now running across the formation. The snap to Alessandro. He fakes the give. Play action pass. He's throwing it up. Tipped and then caught. It is caught, and he's going into the end zone. That'll be a touchdown for Trinity. Oh, what a tough play. That was a nice play-action pass, but well defended by the Huskies. They tipped it into the air, but then it was caught and ran into the end zone for another touchdown for Trinity. That one about a 26-yard pass. They've dropped the score to 18-12 with 1:24 left in the third quarter, and now they're lining up for the PAT. They missed the last one wide left. Snap, ball down, kick up, and it is through this time. So Trinity cuts it within 5 after a 26-yard touchdown pass. The second touchdown pass of the day for Pete Alessandro on a play-action play. And so the score now, Monadnock 18, Trinity 13. So after the 26-yard touchdown pass by senior tight end Max Coughlin on the pass from quarterback Peter Alessandro, Monadnock starting to get in trouble here as their 18-point lead has been shrank down to 5. Trinity getting ready to kick it off. Jocelyn and Hart back deep. Trinity getting ready to kick. Kick is away. It's a line drive up the middle. It's caught and fallen on by, I believe that's number 5, Carson Shanks. So the Huskies will start at about their own 35, maybe 36-yard line. Looks like it's going to be at the 36. So with 1:23 left in the quarter, Monadnock has had some bad luck in the red zone their past 2 trips down the field. They've been moving the ball but haven't been getting any points, and Trinity's been taking advantage. They've now cut this down to a 1-score game. So Monadnock feeling the heat as they come out in the flex bone for 1st and 10. Justin Jocelyn in motion, and he gets the give, and he runs to his left, and he's got a huge hole. He's going to take off, and he's going to go. He's going to keep going, and he goes for a long run and a 1st down and gets it across midfield. That run went for about 21 or 22 yards. He started at the 36 and got all the way to the 44. So I think that went for exactly 20 yards, actually. Exactly a 20-yard run to start the drive with Justin Jocelyn. 1st and 10 at the opposing 44. They come out in the flex bone again. Jocelyn in motion again. He gets the give again, runs through a hole, and gets a gain of about 4 yards this time, I believe is what he got. Less than a minute left in the third quarter, but the Huskies are starting to move. Moves the ball to the opposing 40, maybe 39-yard line. So a gain of about 4 or 5. So 2nd and about 5.5 to go, maybe 6 to go. We got just over 20 seconds left in the third quarter. Monadnock leading Trinity 18-13. 2nd and 6, they come out in the flex bone. This time Aiden Hart in motion. And they do a toss out to Aiden Hart, and he gets grabbed behind the line. Oh, he's going to get wrapped up and taken down. He gets taken down for a big loss. Huge play by number 52 of Trinity. That is Zach Forrest, who came through on the edge and wrapped up Aiden Hart, and he went backwards on that play. We got a timeout on the field here. No, actually, we got a change in quarter. My mistake. 3 zeros on the clock for the third quarter, so that will end the third quarter of play. After 3 quarters, the 4th-seeded hosting Monadnock Huskies, 18. The 5th seed visiting defending champion Trinity Raiders, 13. The defending champs trying to make a comeback on the host team. Monadnock trying not to repeat their fate from last year. They came in as the 4th seed last year as well and fell to 5th seed Hillsborough Deering Hopkinton. They're trying for a different result this time so they can advance to the next round. Whoever wins this round will face 8th seeded Campbell in the second round. as the tournament's top seed Pelham was forced to forfeit the rest of their season due to COVID-19. So whoever wins this is going to host the next round, despite being a seed that would normally be the lower seed in the second round, as the 8th-seeded Campbell Cougars get a free pass to the second round. Not often you get a bye for being the bottom seed, but here we are in 2020. And so 3rd and 8 as we return for the start of the fourth quarter. Monadnock comes out in the flex bone. Jocelyn in motion. And they fake the give. It's a play-action pass. The throw. Aiming for Carroll. He's got the catch, and he's got the first down. He's being dragged down by a few players. But another great connection from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. That time they went for a mid-range pass. Zion Carroll with just a bit of an in-cut. And a nice connection. Threading the needle was quarterback Nate Doyle, and he got his team down to the opposing 27-yard line. 1st and 10, fresh set of downs. They come out in the flex bone for 1st and 10. Jocelyn in motion again. This time they fake the give. They start to run. It's an option play. They pitch back to Jocelyn. Jocelyn's running to the left. He's going to have a bit of a gain here. He gets a number of yards. The Monadnock fans looking for a late hit call, as Jocelyn might have got pushed after he stepped out of bounds. But either way, I think he actually got the first down there. I'm going to see where they mark it, but I think they actually they gave Jocelyn exactly 10 yards on that run. He resets the downs. 1st and 10 at the opposing 17. Great pitch play. Nate Doyle faked the handoff to fullback Hayden Haddock, ran out to his left, and when the defender was closing, he sent the pitch out to Jocelyn. The flexbone working wonders for the Monadnock as they come out in it again. This time Aiden Hart in motion, and they give to Hart. He barrels up the middle, and that's going to be a short gain, maybe a couple yards there. So Aiden Hart gets about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the opposing 16. 11 minutes and counting left in this game. Monadnock's once 18-point lead has now been cut down to 5, courtesy of a valiant comeback attempt by the defending champion Trinity Raiders. Monadnock comes out in the flex bone, 2nd and 9. Hart in motion once again. They toss to him out wide. This hasn't worked before, and it's not going to work this time. He once again gets dragged down as he couldn't get off the edge. Justin Jocelyn couldn't give the leading block that he needed. The edge was sealed off, and he was chased down for, I think, actually a loss on that play. Indeed, it's a loss of 1, and so it'll be 3rd and 10. Huskies want to come up with something. If Trinity gets in the end zone, they automatically take the lead. So 3rd and 11, a loss of 2 on that play. They come out in the flex bone once again. They might be going to the air to Carroll. Jocelyn in motion. They fake the play action pass. Doyle drops back. He's throwing towards the end zone looking for Carroll. It's out of the back of the end zone, but we got flags. This might be defensive holding or even pass interference against Trinity. It looked like Carroll was being held up. It seemed like his progress down the field was being impeded as the pass was in the air. The refs conferring, deciding what to do. This would be a big call if it's against Trinity. They are calling defensive pass interference. And that pass was towards the end zone, so that's going to probably put them right at the 1 once again. Unless they do half the distance to the goal, we'll see where they put it. Where are they putting it? Oh, they're putting it at the 9. So the Huskies don't get the first down. It's 3rd and 2 at the 9-yard line. Huskies come out in the flex bone after a big break there. Justin Jocelyn in motion. The snap. They go for another pitch play. Pitch it out to Jocelyn. He's trying to gain the edge. He gains the edge. He's now aiming for the end zone. He bounces off one guy but gets wrapped up just short. Just short of the end zone, but not short of the first down. is Justin Jocelyn, who gets another big run on a pitch play.
First down.
That pass interference was such a huge break for Monadnock, and they were able to capitalize on it as they weren't given the entire first down. Unexpected for a pass interference call, but they didn't get the first down. Then they converted on a nice pitch play. Now they're once again down to the 1-yard line. They come out in the wishbone. Can they punch it in this time? The give to Justin Jocelyn. He runs in, trying to run over one guy. He's got it! Touchdown, Huskies! Justin Jocelyn finishes the job that he couldn't finish at the end of the first half, and that is a huge blow to Trinity's chances. Big clutch play, clutch drive by the Monadnock Huskies as they put 6 more points on the board and turn this back into a 2-score game. 24-13, the scoreboard currently leads with 9 minutes and 31 seconds left in this game. And the Huskies now lining up to go for 2. They line up in the wishbone once again. The snap, the give to Jocelyn. He runs through a hole. Does he get in this time? He's in this time! So after 4 touchdowns, the Huskies finally get their first 2-point conversion. And they now have doubled up Trinity at 26-13. Huge, huge drive for the Huskies. Cannot be understated. When your team has been stopped inside the 10-yard line on back-to-back drives, and all of a sudden your 3-score lead has turned to a 1-score lead, that's where you realize what kind of a team you have and how you respond to such a situation. And the Huskies responded with a clutch drive. They got a few breaks on it. That pass interference was a big break, no doubt. But they came through and they finished the job and they got in the end zone. Justin Jocelyn with the 1-yard rushing touchdown, followed by a 2-point conversion by the same fellow. And so now the Huskies getting ready to kick off. Nate Doyle will be doing the kicking. And now running up, he kicks it. It bounces right into the arms of the first line. That is caught and downed immediately by, I believe, number 21, Devone Ellis of Trinity. And so Trinity will start with pretty good field position at their own 48-yard line. 9 minutes and 30 seconds left in this ball game. Trinity's 5-point deficit just turned into a 13-point deficit as they get ready to start this drive at their own 48. They're coming out in shotgun to start. 2 receivers on either side. James Tybalt to the right side of Pete Alessandro. Man in motion. Alessandro fakes the give. He's trying to keep it and run it himself. He dodges, jukes around a couple of tackles, and tries to dive ahead. He gets a gain of about 3 or 4. Peter Alessandro has already thrown for 2 touchdowns today, a 24-yarder to George Acule, and then a 26-yarder on the last drive to Max Coughlin. 2 senior tight ends have caught the 2 touchdowns thus far, and it was a 2-yard run, 2 or 3-yard run by Alessandro that time. They are now at the Huskies' 49-yard line. Shotgun again, man in motion. This time they give to the man in motion. This is number 11, trying to find the edge, trying to get it. He gets around the edge, and he's actually got a decent gain there. A nice run by number 11, JT Masuku. He managed to gain the edge. He managed to run away from some pursuing Husky tacklers, and he gets a huge gain there. That's a gain of about 6, I believe. So they are down to the 44-yard line on the Huskies side of the field. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They come out in shotgun once again. 2 receivers on either side. Alessandro takes the snap, gives to Tybalt. Tybalt trying to barrel ahead, and he might have enough for the first down. This one's going to be close. Hayden Haddock in on the tackle there for Monadnock, but could not stop Tybalt before he rumbled through a few defenders to get a first down, and I think we've got an injury. Looks like we got a player down on the field. I can't see who it is. It's one of the Trinity players. It is one of the Trinity players, so we've got a brief break in the action here with 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in this contest. And it looks like they're bringing him back to his feet. He is noticeably limping. Oh, he's not even putting any weight on the foot. He's hopping. He's hopping on one foot off the field. Oh, you hate to see that. He's getting help from 2 team staff members on either side of him. So that's tough. You never want to see that. You certainly hope he's okay. But still more football to be played. 8:25 left in regulation here. Monadnock leads Trinity 26-13. 1st and 10 at the Monadnock 41-yard line for the Raiders. They come out in shotgun. 2 receivers on either side. Tybalt behind Alessandro. He takes a snap, drops it back to pass. He's being chased, throws a short pass out to the flats, and they're going to say it was not caught. The attempted pass for James Tybalt, Justin Jocelyn was in coverage there. And they're going to say it hit the ground as Tybalt tried to dive for what was basically a desperation throw by Alessandro. 3 Husky players had gotten through the line and were coming quick. He didn't have time to go out for the deep pass he probably wanted. So it'll be 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. 8:12 is what reads on the clock here. Shotgun once again. Tybalt behind Alessandro. 2 receivers on either side. Takes the snap. Fakes the give to Tybalt. Now he takes off with it himself, and he gets wrapped up from behind. Great tackle by Justin Jocelyn. Jocelyn seemed like he'd gotten faked out at first. And Jocelyn has been looking a little sore the past couple of plays. He's still playing on, though. He is such a key member of that Huskies defense. And, of course, he came through and punched in that last touchdown from 1 yard out, as well as the 2-point conversion. 3rd and 11 after a 1-yard loss on the attempted keeper by Pete Alessandro. They come out in shotgun once again. 2 receivers on either side. Tybalt this time standing to the left of Alessandro. Man in motion. That's Masuku. They fake the give to him. He's being rushed. Oh, he escapes 1 pass rusher. He's being chased. He tries to gain the edge. Ooks away from 1. Jukes away from another. He's still on his feet, and he's still going, and he gets taken down. Fancy moves there from Pete Alessandro. He gets a hefty gain there as he could have been sacked very early in that play. He's ultimately taken down after a big gain by Aiden Hart. He's down to the Huskies 34. And it'll be 4th down and a short ways to go. This is going to be 4th and 3 at the Huskies' 34-yard line after a big 7-yard run by Pete Alessandro. He looked like he had been caught multiple times behind the line of scrimmage. He juked out of about 3 or 4 tackles and dove ahead for an 8-yard gain, I think. They come out in trips backs. Play action. Alessandro drops back to pass. He throws it up in the air. No good. Incomplete.
That's a turnover on down.
Nothing doing there. It was they tried for the pass on 4th and 3. Couldn't quite get his hands on it. I think that was Malith Yor that was the intended receiver. And give him credit because that pass was not all that close to him. He tried to come to it and reach out his hands for it, and he just could not haul it in. Some great work from the Monadnock pass rush to force the throw from Alessandro. And with 6:19 left in this ball game, Monadnock takes over at its own 34-yard line after a big defensive stop. When you're ahead 2 scores, getting a stop like that midway through the 4th, that's huge. So Monadnock comes out in the wishbone. They take the snap, give to Aiden Hart. Aiden Hart runs into the pile, and he's churning those legs, trying to get a gain. He gets taken down after a gain of about 2 or 3 yards.
Gain of 2 on the play.
They're going to say he gained 2 and got to the 36-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8, 6 minutes and counting left in this ball game. 4th-seeded Monadnock Huskies leading at home over the 5th-seeded defending champion Trinity Raiders. 26-13 is the score. Monadnock trying to advance to the second round, where they would be hosting Campbell, a longtime rival, at least a very big rival of the past few years here in Division III. And Monadnock just let the clock run and then called timeout. Now with 5:29 left in the game, they lead by 13 points. They're trying to finish the job here. (26-13) is the score. Monadnock trying to hold on. They would advance again to host the Campbell Cougars in the next round after Campbell got basically a bye week as the bottom seed because the top seed was forced to forfeit due to COVID-19. A weird season, but it would reunite two pretty faded opponents over the past few years. Monadnock and Campbell have played each other in the state championship game twice, with each team getting one win. The two teams didn't manage to face off again last year as Monadnock was eliminated in the first round. But now, 2nd down and 8 as we get ready to come back out. 5:29 on the clock. The Huskies at their own 36-yard line as they lead Trinity 26-13. The Huskies come out in the flex bone this time. Aiden Hart in motion. Takes the snap. Give to Hart. Hart runs right into the pile and goes about nowhere. No gain. Might have lost one. They're going to say no gain, so it'll be 3rd down and 8. 5:19 to go, and I think we got another timeout called, this time by Trinity. So Trinity trying to save some clock here so they can try and mount a comeback. Down 2 scores with just over 5 minutes to play. It'll require some big plays if they're going to make this move. They've had a few big plays. Their biggest play of the night so far is probably a 40-yard pass from Pete Alessandro to Melith Yor. That took them from about their own 9-yard line down to the 49. They were marching down the field on that possession, but ultimately could not find the end zone. Actually, no, that was the possession where they did find the end zone. So they did find the end zone at the end of that drive, a 26-yard pass from Alessandro to Max Coughlin, his second pass to a senior tight end, with the first one going to George Acule for 24 yards. And after they succeeded on the PAT, they had cut the deficit down to 5, but Monadnock responded with a clutch drive that now has their 2-score lead. Monadnock coming out in the wishbone now after the timeout. 3rd and 8. The snap. 2 fakes. It's a play-action pass. Doyle rolls out, throws the pass. It's tipped and incomplete. That pass, I believe, was intended, I think that's number 2, Ethan Jarvis, who was the target. And so it'll be 4th down and 8 yards to go with 5:12 left in the game. I think the pass was actually intended for number 5, Carson Shanks. Bounced off the hands and went nowhere, so now the Huskies forced to punt here. 4th and 8 on their own 36-yard line. 5:12 to go, and they'll be giving the ball back. Nate Doyle set up to punt. The long snap goes back to Doyle. He runs a few steps, then boots it away. Nice line drive punt, favorable bounce, and it goes out of bounds. Just past the 40-yard line, so the Raiders will be starting inside their own 40. And we'll see how this one shakes out. The Raiders trying to mount a late comeback. They'd gotten the 3-score deficit down to a 1-score deficit, but now that score has increased back to a 2-score deficit. They're trying to make things happen here. They got 5 minutes to save their season. Trips backs, and they send Pete Alessandro out wide. So it'll be a direct snap to the backfield. It's directly snapped. This is Paul Tybalt looking for a pass on a slant to Alessandro. He's got the catch, and he's got a nice gain. Immediately tackled on coverage by Zion Carroll, but I think he gained about 9 yards on the pass. The Raiders starting out aggressive, going through the air. Still in bounds, though, so the clock is still ticking. 4:45 and counting to go. And they get about 8 yards on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 2. From about the 37. They were inside their 30-yard line when they started. Once again, they send Paul Tybalt this time out wide, motion him back inside, direct snap to Alessandro. They give. This is James Tybalt, I believe, who's found a hole after a nice juke move and plowed ahead for the first down and a little bit more. Nice run by James Tybalt. It gets them the first down and a stop on the clock. But now it's running once again. 4:15 and counting. Trinity comes out. They got trips backs again, but they send Pete Alessandro out wide. Snap back to Paul Tybalt. He drops back to pass. He's throwing it. He's throwing it deep, looking for Alessandro. Alessandro dives for it, can't catch it. He had a step on Zion Carroll there, but the ball was just a bit overthrown. They couldn't find the connection. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from Trinity's 43-yard line. The fog has cleared out here at Monadnock Regional High School. Still maybe a little bit lingering, but not nearly what we had around halftime. The Raiders certainly glad about that since they got to come up with some big plays, which might mean some big passes, although they just missed on that one. 2nd and 10 from the 43. They come out in trips backs. They send Alessandro out wide once again. This will be a direct snap to Paul Tybalt. Tybalt takes a snap, drops back to pass. He's looking for Alessandro again. He overthrows it, intercepted! Intercepted by Monadnock. I believe that's Zion Carroll. I do not believe what I just saw. Zion Carroll tripped in coverage. Alessandro was wide open, but Tybalt overthrew him, threw it over his head, and threw it right into the waiting arms of Carroll, who had gotten back up after tripping. Huge interception by the Monadnock senior. 3:47 left to go in this ball game, and the Huskies take over on their own 40-yard line as they try and maintain their 2-score lead. This is why we love playoff football. Anything can happen, and anything will happen. We've seen so many crazy plays tonight, and now the Huskies trying to close this one out. 3:47 on the clock. They come out in the flex bone, 1st and 10 on their own 40. Justin Jocelyn in motion, and he gets the give, runs through a hole. He's got some speed here, and he gets the first down run. Nice big run there. A nice hole set by the Huskies line. We're starting to see more things open up for the Huskies as this game has gone on. They struggled their first couple possessions and needed some big passes to get their first couple of scores, but since then, their running game has started to pick up a little bit, at least in the case of Justin Jocelyn, who's had a couple of nice runs, as well as the fullback Hayden Haddock, who's had a couple nice ones. So 1st and 10 now at the Trinity 46 after a big 14-yard run by Jocelyn. They come out in the flex bone. They're letting the clock tick down, 3:10 and counting. They're waiting for the last possible second. Aiden Hart in motion this time. Take the snap, give to Hart. Hart runs right into the line and gets maybe 1 yard. So it should be 2nd and about 9 yards to go from about the Trinity 45-yard line, as we now have 2:40 and counting left in this game. A first down or two, and this game could be over without Trinity even getting the ball back, as Monadnock trying to seal this one. They come out in the flex bone once again. Jocelyn in motion this time. They fake, they go for a pitch play, they pitch it out to Jocelyn. Jocelyn's got some room to run. He's got some room to his left, and he barrels ahead for maybe a 9-yard gain on that one, maybe 8. It's going to be close to a first down. We're at 2 minutes and counting. And it'll be 3rd and 1 at the Trinity 37. Monadnock just letting the clock tick down. We're down to 1 minute and 40 seconds. One more first down conversion might just do it here. The Huskies come out in the flex bone. 3rd and 1. Hart in motion. And Doyle takes it himself and barrels ahead. He's got the first down and a little bit more. I think that's going to seal it, folks. That's going to be a Huskies first down with just 1:17 left in this ball game. And the clock is ticking. I think this one's going to do it, folks. I think we're just winding out the last of the final seconds here. A great game played by the Monadnock Huskies. Some sloppy mistakes here and there, but they always bounced back and found a way to maintain their lead. After nearly blowing an 18-point lead and letting their deficit get cut down to 5, they came through with a huge drive and then some big defensive stands. Of course, Zion Carroll with the final interception, and the Huskies now in victory formation. And Doyle takes a knee with 35 seconds and counting down, and I believe that is going to do it. The Huskies now just waiting out the clock. They might have to kneel one more time, but this is going to do it. Your final score is going to be the 4th-seeded host Monadnock Huskies 26 and the 5th-seeded visiting Trinity Raiders 13. So after being knocked out as a 4th seed in the first round last year, the Huskies come through and finish the job today as the last seconds tick off this clock. 3 zeros, that does it. And officially the final score, the Monadnock Huskies 26, the Trinity Raiders 13. The Huskies knock off the defending champs in the first round and redeem themselves for last year's upset loss in the first round. They come through 26-13. They will advance to the second round, where they will play the 8th-seeded Campbell Cougars, who got a bye effectively through the first round, despite being the bottom seed, as the tournament's top seed and favorite, Pelham, had to forfeit due to COVID-19. So that'll be an interesting game, probably next weekend. I hope to be there. I certainly hope those of you who can't be there will listen in. But it should be a home game for Monadnock, as they are the higher seed, the 4th seed against the 8th seed. And we'll wrap this up with one quick summary of the game. The two teams traded scoreless possessions back and forth for each of their first 2 possessions to start the game. Then Monadnock finally got the ball moving and got the big play they were looking for, a 48-yard touchdown pass from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll. A nice floater over the top down the middle, caught by Carroll, and he had just enough of a step on his defenders to get in the end zone. Then, on the next Husky possession, after they forced Trinity to give the ball up, they started deep in their own end, but were able to come up with another huge play, a pass to the corner from Doyle to Carroll on a nice corner route, and he caught it and he ran down the far sideline and showed off his speed as he beat out his defenders and got all the way to the end zone. Some great breakaway speed by Zion Carroll on that play. The score became 12-0. Then on Trinity's next possession, quarterback Pete Alessandro threw up a desperation pass as the Husky pass rush was coming quick, and that pass floated right into the arms of Nate Doyle, who had a great interception run back all the way to the 1-yard line. And then 2 plays later, he ran it in himself for a 1-yard score, all of a sudden 18-0. Late in the first half, however, the Trinity Raiders finally got some things together on offense, and they put together a drive ending with a 24-yard touchdown pass from Pete Alessandro to the tight end George Acule. Their PAT also failed, so it became 18-6. The Huskies drove down at the end of the half and got all the way down to the 1-yard line before a botched handoff resulted in a fumble and loss of possession. So they failed to make it a 3-score game once again to end the half, and Trinity made them pay for it in the second half. After Trinity failed on their first possession, Monadnock was able to drive all the way down to their opponent's 5-yard line and had 3rd and 1 on the 5. But then Trinity's defense stood tall and stuffed them on back-to-back plays for no gain to turn the ball over on downs. They started the ball on their own 5-yard line but put together a massive drive with the catalyst play coming on a 40-yard pass from Alessandro to Malithior. A nice catch and run on that play, and their drive ultimately culminated in another passing touchdown, this time from Alessandro to another senior tight end, Max Coughlin. So that 26-yard touchdown pass cut the lead to 18-12. Then they succeeded on the PAT and cut that lead down to 5. The Huskies looked like they might be in trouble, but then they strung a big drive together with the big plays, a huge 3rd down conversion pass from Nate Doyle to Zion Carroll, and then a big pass interference draw from Zion Carroll on another 3rd and long play that was thrown out the back of the end zone, but pass interference is pass interference, and that set them up for 3rd and 2 on the opposing 9, and then Justin Jocelyn came through with a big run on a pitch play from Doyle that allowed them to get all the way down to the 1 once again, and this time Justin Jocelyn was able to pound the ball in for the 1-yard score. He added the 2-point conversion. 26-13 became the score, and the Monadnock defense stood tall on the next couple possessions, including an interception by Zion Carroll of Pete Alessandro, the second interception of the day, to ultimately seal it as they came through with some nice running plays. Several big runs by Justin Jocelyn got them the first downs they needed in order to ultimately seal it. The final score here at Monadnock Regional High School in Swansea, New Hampshire, Monadnock 26, Trinity 13. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all so much for listening. If you like my broadcasts, you like what I do, you want to support me financially, I have a Patreon account. You can go over to patreon.com/JGMS88 and show me your love there. Of course, I appreciate whatever support you give me, even if it's just listening in. I'm always going to keep doing this because I love what I'm doing. I love getting to cover playoff football, like I said, and I hope I'll be back next week for the next game between Monadnock and Campbell. But for the last time, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for listening. Monadnock wins and moves on. Everyone have a good night and enjoy your weekend.